I'm sorry, I didn't see you there. This will be A Minor Piano Lesson by Carter Norton. The specific purpose of this speech is to demonstrate a few basic piano fundamentals by teaching my public speaking class how to play Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. The central idea is obviously Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, and it's a simple song that anyone can learn to play in minutes. Today my audience consists of my roommates and my girlfriend. I have Zach Fisher, Alex Peppard, Noah Palazza, and Bree Pinkston. So let's begin. You're socializing at your friend's house. Your friends have a piano in the living room, and you sit down to fill the room with some soothing tunes, but you don't know anything to play. It's a good thing you're watching this video. I'm here today to make you more impressive at your socials. After this speech, you should be able to identify the keys on a piano and know how to play a song. For many years, I have wanted to learn an instrument, and 1 year ago I was gifted a keyboard. I have practiced my skills in piano since then, and Twinkle Twinkle Little Star was the first song I learned after receiving it. First, I will explain how the keys on pianos are lettered. I will also explain how sound moves across the keys. Then I'll use this knowledge to teach the song. First, we need a very basic understanding of the background of playing piano. Some materials you might need are obviously a piano or keyboard, or you can use a piano phone app, which has a keyboard that you can use on the phone. You also need hands and some rhythm. If you want to learn piano, I suggest getting an iPhone app. Like I said, there's an app that lets you play an actual keyboard, or there's apps that give lessons. So I use Musician, for example, and I really enjoy it. Even if you don't have these things, you'll be able to take something away from this video anyway. So here are the fundamentals. We have the key lettering, and as I show you the keyboard here, you can see the keys. So we have groups of 2 and 3 black keys along the keyboard. So right here, there's a group of 2 black keys. Right here, there's 3 black keys. And this goes along the piano. And then each of these black keys indicates an octave. So an octave is 8 different notes, or 8 keys, and the keyboard just continues with each set of octaves. So on the octaves, you know the beginning of the octave based on the group of 2 black keys. So you look at the 2 black keys, and then the immediate key to the left is this white key here, and this is C. So you have C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and C. And that was 8 notes there that I just played, therefore it's called an octave. And then that also continues along the rest of the piano. So once you know one octave, you kind of understand how the rest of the keyboard is lettered. And after that, you just kind of play based on the groups of 2 and 3 black keys. And that's kind of your indicator for what the different letters are. So again, it's C, D, C, D, E, F, G. And all of those keys follow the alphabet, C, D, E, F, G. And then after G, it starts over. So you have A, B, and C. And then it just continues on the alphabet, starting over at G every time. Also, the pitch or the sound moves up and down across the keys. So as you move to the right of the piano, the pitch gets higher, or the sound moves up. And as you move to the left on the piano, the pitch gets lower. So that's how piano players know which way to move on the keyboard. It's not just randomly hitting keys, but they know if they want to go higher in pitch, then they move to the right, and if they want to go lower, they move to the left. And that's kind of how you learn. Some people play by reading music, and some people just play by sound. And if you're learning to play by sound, you really understand the right versus left and how pitch moves on the piano. And then there's also notes versus chords. So the notes are what we'll be playing today. That's just one key, one note. And then a chord is made up of a few notes. So a chord is what more advanced piano players play with. They they kind of learn the notes and then they move into the chords as they get more skilled in playing. So a chord, for example, there's a C chord, and that would be 3 different notes at the same time. And those are a lot more complicated, so we won't get into those today. This is just a beginner introduction. So Twinkle Twinkle Little Star specifically has 6 lines, and they are C, C, G, G, A, A, G, and then they go on. And I'll teach those as we go into the song. But the lines consist of maybe 7 or 8 different notes that you'll hit, and then you go on to the beat of the song. When I play anything, it helps me to review what I learned. So I've reviewed the key lettering, I've reviewed notes versus chords, and today we'll be playing notes. And then I've reviewed a basic introduction of the song. So now I'll get into the song itself, and I'll play the keys that make up Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. So again, I find the group of 2 black keys right here. I move immediately to the left, and that first white key is C. And then you see how my hand is placed just 1 finger on each key that follows. So it's C, C, G, G, A, G. I messed that up. Here we go. So that's the most basic version of Twinkle Twinkle Little Star that I could teach now. It would be really complicated to just say a bunch of letters, so I'm not going to tell you all 6 lines of the song, but after you figure out, like you saw that I was only playing with 1 hand, that was my right hand. So after you figure out the movements that are necessary, it's just thumb, thumb, pinky, pinky, and then you extend pinky, pinky, and then you go back to the original pinky position. So you can review my hand movement there, and that's the way I teach myself. I watch a specific segment, and I do that over and over again until I figure it out. So you can watch the way that my hand moves on the keyboard, and then you can also review the key lettering that I went over. Some people like to write. Maybe you can put a piece of tape on each key and write the actual letter that it is. That might help as you figure out the lettering. But yeah, I would just manipulate the video, rewind and pause, and do whatever you need to understand the different letters and then the different hand positions. And for my speech today, I used an article from S. Susie on why learning piano theory is important for all musicians. And her article showed me some of the fundamentals that showed me the lettering and hand positions. And then I also used an article from Mrs. Dana. She didn't give her last name because I think she wishes to remain as private as possible. But her website or her article gave me the 6 lines for Twinkle Twinkle Little Star and explained the different notes that need to be played for the most basic version that I just played here. Thank you very much for listening to my speech. Thank you to my audience, Zach, Alex, Noah, and Bree, for listening. And I hope you all enjoyed the speech. I hope you all learned something, and maybe it sparked an interest to learn more songs or just more fundamentals of the piano. So I'm going to scan my audience one more time to prove that they survived it. I have Zach, Alex, Noah, and Bree. All right, thank you for listening.